Hey guys, Pixie here. Today's video is the top 20 most expensive PlayStation 3. We'll go over a few disclaimers before we do get into the video. So we will only be talking about standard games, no collector's edition, steel books, slipcovers, etc. These games, I'm going to tell you a rough estimate of the price. Now that price is what you can expect to find this game for sale online or sold listing. It's not a price you will find in shops. You're going to find these games, if you're lucky or if you're in a certain geographic location, a lot cheaper in brick and mortar stores. However, this list in particular and these games and the prices I'm going to tell you today are roughly based on recent sold listings on either eBay or different groups, etc. They're in no particular order, guys. Again, this is entirely my opinion. I gathered this together in a couple of hours. Collection, did a research, narrowed it down from about 40 games. I believe we got a pretty good list. There's one game on this list I don't own. I'm sure you guys can guess what that is, but we'll show that one towards the end. So without further overdue, let's get into it. So firstly we have Chavo Kart. That's another thing I'll mention, guys. These prices are in Australian dollars. So if you are overseas and you think this sounds quite expensive, it is most likely because it's in Australian dollars, not US or Euro, etc. So here we have El Chavo Kart. This is a Mexican exclusive. You will see copies online if you're in Australia from about $120 up to about $150, which is a lot more than it used to be. The 150 is probably going to be more likely I do apologize, that's the wrong game. El Chavo is going for $120 up to $200 for a sealed copy. So yeah, up to $200 for a sealed copy of El Chavo card. The next game we'll talk about is one of a few sport games that we're going to mention today, which is quite interesting. Here we have College Hoops 2K8. You'll have copies online from $50 all the way up to $150, and that was a sold listing, which is pretty crazy. So I wanted to talk about this one today. Again, this is mainly which I've mentioned in previous videos, this has mainly got up in price due to COVID-19 and people wanting to play old college games, which as college sports and other sports ceased to compete. I don't know if they've gone back. I know the NBA's gone back, but not entirely sure about college. So here we have College Hoops 2K8. Next we are going to talk about Everybody's Golf 6, the Chinese English version. I couldn't find many sold listings at all, guys, so I've had to go off some older ones. So we've got sold listings anywhere from $120 to $150 for a sealed copy. This is quite sought after as it's got English in it. It's got all the trophies as well. And it's quite a popular franchise. I'm not sure why it didn't receive an NTSC release. So we have Everybody's Golf 6. Next is NCAA 14, another sports title we're going to talk about. As of recently, this one's been crazy. It's sold listings between $100 and $200, and it's not just one or two. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of sold listings between $1 and $2, all the way up to $300 for a sealed copy, which is quite crazy. So if you don't have this one now, definitely don't be picking it up. It's going to drop in price as it's not rare. And I believe this is just inflation due to this being the last NCAA game. However, I might be wrong and this might stay at that price, so who knows. So that's NCAA 14, Football 14. Next is one that shot up recently, at least from what I researched online, and that's Afrika. I seem to have found sold listings from $1 all the way up to $180 Australian. which is pretty crazy. I remember when I was looking for this game, sold listings are about $90. So it's definitely gone up since then. Of course, this is the one with the orange sun, which is the North American version with all the trophies and in English. So that's Africa. Next we have Jojo's All-Star Battle Royale. This game, the North American version, tends to be the most expensive. However, these days the PAL version is quite expensive as well. I've got sold listings from $70 all the way up to $150 Australian. So if you haven't found your copy of Jojo's in the wild, good luck tracking one down online for a good price. Next, we will talk about the Dark Souls 2 HMV Limited Edition. We've got sold listings pretty much from $15 because some people don't realize that this is Dark's rare edition, all the way up to $200, and they were selling a couple of years ago for 250 plus Australian dollars, which is crazy. Obviously, sealed copies might be worth even more. I couldn't find any sold listings, at least in the last year, of any. So if you don't know, this is limited to only 2,000 units, and it's printed on the cover. A little bit hard to see. Here we have RA1, the game. This one has increased in price recently. As my friends in India have told me, it's becoming harder to find in India, so that's probably got something to do with the price rise. So we're finding used copies selling online for up to $200 plus. We do have a sealed copy that sold in the last 6 months for 700 Australian dollars, which is crazy. I'm only aware of one other sealed copy, so probably not going to see many sealed copies show up in the market. However, that seems to be the price that it's fetching. Yeah, we'll get on to the next game, guys. So this next one shot up in price lately. So here we have Godzilla, again a PAL exclusive. This one's selling Australian dollars between $100 and $200. The Australian version is going for about the 100 mark, where some of the European versions have got sold listings well over 200 Australian dollars, which is crazy. I remember picking up a few of these back in the day. That's Godzilla. Here we have Madden 09, the Mexican Espanol version. We've got sold listings all the way up to $150, and we've got sold listings up to $300 for a sealed copy. It's pretty crazy for a sport game. Again, if you're in America or Mexico, this game's probably going to be cheaper, guys. All these prices are from sold listings that are outside of America, either in Australia or Europe. Yeah, so that is Madden 09, the Espanol version, which is from Mexico. Here we have South Park, and this is the banned German version. I couldn't really find any information on sold listings. Basically, all I'm going off is I've been offered $150 for my copy, which I turned down. I can safely say that someone was willing to pay that price. Again, if anyone knows any sold listings for this, please let me know. You're probably going to find some cheaper copies that have been sold because people didn't realize what they have. And again, this is more on the rarity side than you talk about an expensive game, but I obviously had to include it in this list because it would go for a very high price. So that is the banned German version of. Now, the next game we're going to talk about is the Chinese English version of Lost in the Rain. This game's going for quite a ridiculous amount recently. We've got sold listings from around $200, which you won't find on eBay. This is privately. all the way up to $700 for a sealed copy, guys. You guys probably have seen the eBay listings that have now been selling, which is insane. They were up there for a few years, and since that, the price of the game people have seemed to continue to buy it at that price. So that is lost in the rain. Yeah, which is absolutely insane, guys. So you will notice a lot of these games towards the end, I tried to make the more expensive ones at the end, are going to be from the Asian region, Chinese English. Those games are very in demand. So here we have PixelJunk, 3-in-1 pack. We've got sold listings of this around the $200 mark Australian. That's for sealed copies, and we've got the occasional used copy that sells for around the $1 to $150 mark. There is a Korean version of this as well, and it goes for around the same price. So next we're going to talk about The Last Guy, which is another Chinese English title. We've got sold listings from 70 all the way up to $250 for sealed copies. However, it's more or less, if you find it, grab it, because this hasn't appeared online for a while, and you're going to be lucky if you find it. So this is the Chinese English version of The Last Guy. Now this next game is a little bit similar, however I believe it's more rare and it's more expensive, and that is the Chinese English version of Aquanaut's Holiday. We did about 4 or 5 months ago have a sold listing that went for 450 Australian dollars, and that was for a used copy, which is absolutely insane. It was in Europe, so the currency was in euros. I think it was like 250 euros or something, which at the time translated to 450 Australian dollars. However, other sold listings are around the $250 mark. The problem is this has not been showing up lately. This has become really hard to find. So it's more or less going to be, if you find this, grab it. And the price is going to be the price, so be prepared for that one. The next one, guys, is the Malaysian 3D collection. Again, this is becoming very hard to find, even on eBay. I do know of a recent sold listing that went for $200 privately. A couple of years ago, we had $200 copies selling on eBay. They sold pretty quickly. So if copies go online a little bit higher than that, you could probably expect them to sell. So this is the 3D collection from Malaysia. The next we're going to include a couple of Japanese games. This is a shoot 'em up. This is Mamoru-kun's Curse. Recently, this has been going for an astronomical amount. We've got sold listings online, and there's not many even active listings anymore, but you've got copies from $180 all the way to $250. And the limited edition is going for $300 plus, which is insane. So this is Mamoru-kun's Curse. Again, it's a really fun shmup. I was lucky to pick my copy up years ago when it wasn't as popular, I guess. If you guys want to check out gameplay of this, I played it on my YouTube channel and we released a video, so be sure to check that one out, guys. It was released about a month ago. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, so another game from Japan. This is the Gran Turismo HD concept install disc. Again, there's not many listings of this anymore. There was for a while, and it seemed to have went up in price, sort of dived, and now it's gone back up again. So we've got sold listings between $110 all the way up to $300 for a sealed copy. So that is Gran Turismo HD concept install disc. Which, as if you don't know, was the which was the unreleased Gran Turismo game before Gran Turismo 5. Next, we have the 3D gaming pack. This was from Australia. I only know of 2 sold copies, which one of them, of course, is mine. So we've got sold listings between 300 and 400 Australian dollars. Of course, it isn't about the price; it's about the rarity. I only know of 6 or 7 of these that exist currently. So that is the 3D gaming pack. And I'm gonna switch scenes quickly, guys. So before the next video. Yeah, there we go. Of course, the next game and the last game we're going to talk about on the top 20 most expensive PS3 games is NBA Elite 11. I'm sure you guys all know about this game. Recently, I believe there was a sold listing that went over $5,000, which is insane. Copies were on eBay for $10,000. I don't know if they sold, but there certainly hasn't been any genuine copies of this recently. A lot of fake copies, a lot of just the cover, etc. But I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you know all about NBA Elite 11, and it was more or less the other videos on this list that you guys wanted to get information about. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Even if you didn't, let me know why not. I'm always looking to improve my videos, etc. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. It really helps me out knowing that you guys like my content. Leave a comment, like the video, all that stuff that every YouTuber says. And until next time, peace, guys.